Yes, everybody. Rush to the West End Network. Hope you're safe and well. Graham Potter has just finished his press conference ahead of the game against Sunderland on Saturday. And as always, anyone new to the channel, what we do is we dissect it, we look at it, we paraphrase it, we create a synopsis, which we give back to you. It sounds like I've swallowed a dictionary today. But anyway, and obviously today's is brought to you by lovely channel sponsors, Match Bingo, who you'll be hearing a lot more over the next few days about. So let's get into it. Potter was asked whether it's good to be back, whether he's happy, and he said, "I'm very positive to be back. It's been a positive pre-season, and as much as we can talk about that, we can't wait to be back on the first weekend. It's going to be a great game for us and a big test, but we're ready. We're going to be having the Sunderland opposition chats. That'll be up tomorrow morning. But in terms of team news from us, he basically said Quincey-Somerville is the last stage of rehab and won't be available. We're led to believe the Tottenham game is going to be the game he's been penciled in for return. George Earth has sustained an injury early in pre-season. We're delighted with Mads, who provides good competition. We'll see how it goes. And asked whether he would start. He goes, I'm not going to give you the team news as yet, but did seem to be featured quite prominently in the training session video, which was all about Mads anyway. So there we go. Midst of the transfer window, lots of questions about transfer activity. If he was happy with it, he goes, "We're happy with what we've done so far. We've got a good mix of characters, and the trick now is to try to keep improving. In the meantime, I have to focus on the players we have, and we're looking forward to the game. Whenever players move on, it's hard to directly replace them, and we'll talk about that as well, because very much a refreshed squad." Carrying on in terms of transfers, you have to look at what's best for us. There's a focus on individuals, but for me, it's about how the team functions and bringing the best out of everyone. There was questions about PSR and stuff as well, which we'll crack on to. He also said, like all teams, you have to balance the PSR challenges with trying to improve. I think he mentioned PSR about half a dozen times in about 8-minute interview. It isn't straightforward just to bring in players, but we're continuing to work. We've brought some really good players in with a mix of youth and experience, and we're going to be talking about youth and experience in a bit. Actually, let's talk about the refresh squad. It was asked a direct question about letting go of 𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗧𝗘𝗥 and people like that. So we've had to say goodbye to some players, and of course, we're grateful for them for their brilliant service. We have to bring in new energy into the team, which I think we've done. And overall, I'm very happy with how pre-season has gone and where we're at now. And he said it's part of football. You know, you've got to bring in players. You've got to bring in new players all the time. One question about the academy was asked in terms of is there a reason for the lack of activity? Because we're bringing, we've got the likes of Ollie Scars and Potts coming through, Callum Marshall. Is it because we don't need to buy players? He goes, but what you have to understand at West Ham is we're not a development club. We're not developing clubs. We're here to win. The academy is a big part of the club, and we want to give opportunities if it's right. We're battling PSR as always, PSR again, as everyone is. I don't think some are, to be honest. And we're looking to achieve good things. Asked directly about PSR, he said, basically, I think it was a Moose said, are you always battling it? And then Potter said, well, to be honest, if you think it's just down on how much money we've earned, then, or how much a team is, let me just change that, how much a team can spend, in terms of that being a success, because I don't think that's the case. I think you can overachieve and go beyond your budget, but you have to work hard and together every day, and then you can achieve things. We want to do that, and we focus hard on every game as they come. And he said, having this team spirit is going to help us out, and I believe as well. I mean, you see how people are reacting on social media with the likes of Fulkrug and people like that, and how they're being perceived and they're being sort of moved in terms of front of the camera, showing how together everyone is and that type of thing. That makes a big difference, I think. When the chips are down, that's going to get you 6-7 points in a season. When it is a cold day and cold evening in Burnley on a Tuesday night and it's raining, and having that togetherness, having that team spirit will drag you over the line sometimes. Yes, talent helps, but that team spirit, and that was one of the key reasons, I think, why we had that sort of relatively successful period under David Moyes in the COVID era, was because that team spirit. And, you can see it. You can't fake it here. Asked about the potential with all the new players coming in the academy and people like that. He goes, I think the potential here is huge and the ambition is huge. It's a huge club. We've got a great fan base, history, and tradition, like every big club has. Our challenge is to use our resources to do as well as we can, make our supporters, basically make a team our supporters can be proud of. Sort of paraphrasing that. I get that. There is potential. Does he have aspirations for the season ahead? He says the ceiling can be as high as anything. In terms of potential, it must be for us, not for us, West Ham. Let me change that. Jesus. Let me do it. Well, I can do that live. Well, fancy Dan now. Not capital F. Anyway, let's just change that because it's going to annoy me. For us, we just have to look at each game, try to do as well as we can, and improve. If you can get that bit with the players and supporters, anything can happen. Premier League champions, 25-26. You've seen it here. In terms of his aspiration, in my experience, there were no free hits. Basically, Moo said, can we judge you now? Because this is your team. Last season, it was still Lopetegui's team, basically. He goes, well, in my experience, there are no free hits. You have to be assessed and judged, and that's fine. It's all about, Jesus Christ, it's this. Well, I've just taken this straight off the West Ham website. So many spelling mistakes. I do that, do it myself. You have to take the right thing for the club and the team, doing the best I can do to keep club moving forward. I've learned a lot since I've been here, and I'm excited about the season ahead. Me too, Graham. Asked about one player was singled out, and that was Callum Wilson. Asked about what he could bring to the side, and he goes, he brings experience, know-how, and quality, which isn't easy to find. He's come from a good environment and can help the other players in the group too, particularly the young players he mentioned. He's a top player on the pitch as well. When he's on the say that, but that was the truth. And then finally, one question about Sunderland. The guy waffled on, the journo waffled on about bloody, what was it? Sunderland Till I Die documentary. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it? Did you watch it? He went, yeah. But then asked about Sunderland in general now. He goes, they're back in the Premier League now, and I'm sure they'll be excited and focused. We're always going to be focused. They spoke about Granit. They asked about Granit Xhaka specifically, who's just been named the Sunderland captain. He's a top player, and I'm sure he's going to bring all his experience to Sunderland. For us, it's about what we can do and try to match the positivity of the environment. Now, obviously, last season under Julien Lopetegui, we had the positive. No, we had the focus. There's the for sure counter and the positive meter, I think it was. This season, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're actually going to keep one going, but this one's a bit of a different one. This one is the positive, the Potter positive counter. There's got to be a P for counter. If you can, let me know. I want to call it a triple P. So where we are on the Potter positive counter, 5 positives. Maybe I might have missed 1 or 2, I'll be honest, but at least 5 there was. And he didn't say any betters yet, but he does betters. So there was no betters, but there was 5 positive Potter positive something pursuit. So I'll have to think of another P. So that's where we're up to. And that's it, my friends. There is the Graham Potter press conference ahead of the game against Sunderland. That's it on Saturday. We'll have all the stuff leading up to it. And don't forget to check out Match Bingo for your bingo cards ahead of that first game. Over 18s only, and 18 over, UK based only, but you can get your dabbers and dobbers and make the game even more enjoyable than it will be. Anyway, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the flippity flop. Much love. Bye.